Oh hey, I didn't see you there. Welcome back to Learning with You. Today we're going to take a look at a brief history of video games. Arcades. Wiffle board was the first pinball machine developed in the 1930s. Pinball developed to coin-operated user-controlled arcade games in the 1970s. Computer Space was the first coin-operated arcade game created in 1971, created by Nolan Bushnell and Ted Dabney. The Magnavox Odyssey. First home gaming console, invented by Ralph H. Baer. Released September 1972. Introductory price of US $99.95. Not a commercial success. Second generation consoles. Magnavox Odyssey 2. Released September 1978 for retail price of $179.99 US. Intellivision, released in 1979 by Mattel for retail price of $275 US. Atari's 2600, released September 1977 for retail price of $189.95 US. ATARI. Founded in 1972 by Nolan Bushnell and Ted Dabney. Released the arcade version of Pong in November 1972. Based on the electronic ping pong game included with the Magnavox Odyssey. Magnavox sued for patent infringement. In 1975, Atari partners with Sears to release Home Pong. Sears requested for 150,000 units for Christmas. Video game cartridges. Jerry Lawson pioneered the video game cartridge. Fairchild Channel F was the first game console to use ROM cartridges. Released November 1976 at retail price of $169.95 US. The Atari 2600 popularized the ROM cartridge. Games. Space Invaders, 1978. Asteroids, 1979. Pac-Man, 1980. Frogger, 1981. Donkey Kong, 1981. Video games became more complex and colorful during this period as the competition rises. The golden age of arcades comes to an end. The great video game crash of 1983. Recessions in the video game industry due to an oversaturated market of consoles and games. Also a lack of interest. The crash led to the closing of many companies producing video game consoles and games. But a company out of Japan would come out on top of the crash. Nintendo. First released the Nintendo Entertainment System NES in Japan in 1983. Released to the North American markets in 1985 at a retail price of $179 US. Was one of the best-selling consoles of its time. The NES introduced some of Nintendo's top game franchises such as Super Mario Bros., Legend of Zelda, and Metroid. Tetris. Created in 1984 by a Russian computer engineer named Alexei Pechinov. Inspired by his favorite puzzle board game, Pentominoes. Tetris was the first video game played in space. Nintendo's Game Boy was launched with Tetris in 1989. Tetris is one of the best-selling video games with over 140 million copies sold. Handhelds. Nintendo's Game Boy released July 1989 for retail price of $89.99 US. Sega's Game Gear released October 1990 for a retail price of $149.99 US. ATARI's Lynx released September 1989 for a retail price of $179.99 US. Game Boy would introduce Nintendo's franchise Pokemon in 1996. Well, that's all for today, folks. I hope you learned something new today on Learning with Hugh. Hope to see you back again soon.